Okay, so I said a while back that I was going to stop bothering to track these professional losers on YouTube because pattern betting doesn't have to work very hard to turn their losing sessions into demonstrably, verifiably winning sessions if intelligent betting is applied to exactly the same outcomes. Brettski really got up my nose, I have to admit, because he just put up a so-called test of progressive betting, a martingale test, let it run for 5 bets, and then abandoned it with a loss of whatever the hell it was, 300, 750, 3,100. Just walked away from it. And basically, what he's doing, and what all the others do when they play exactly the same kind of game, where they say, "Whoa, this martingale is really dangerous. It's really stupid. It's really, what they're all doing is they're playing according to the casino script. They are paying back the hospitality that they get, the access that they get, the ease with which they can move freely around their host casinos, and of course, they're paying back the comps, the promotional chips, the extra special treatment that they get because they are providing the casinos with the best free advertising platform that has ever existed for the gambling industry anywhere in the world, and that's of course YouTube. So I decided it was time to just take a look at Brettski's recent table games activity, and I'm only interested in blackjack, and at blackjack I'm only interested in his left hand or first base bets. If he spreads across multiple bets, then I do record them, but I don't play them. I don't have the algorithm play them because playing multiple bets is just sheer stupidity. It's just ridiculous. Obviously, because as soon as like you put, I don't know, there's this guy Sean Perry who's just lately has been doing 6 bets at $3,000 a piece, and it's insanity. As soon as the dealer gets a decent hand, a 20 or a 21 or even 19, you know, all 6 bets are likely to be dead in the water. Certainly against a dealer natural, and probably against any dealer hand above 18. But that's, their job basically is to play like prats so that they can communicate the excitement and the fun of jeopardy and the joy of losing. I mean, it's just incredible. But anyway, I'm going to pause for a sec because I want to jump over to YouTube and just show you what I'm on about here. Okay, so here we are with Brettski's page, and this is the thing that really pissed me off. This one here. It's deliberate disinformation. Obviously, if you bet a completely out of control martingale, where you just keep doubling and doubling and doubling and doubling until you're either dead in the water or you finally manage to win back all your prior losses plus the value of your original bet. And this, of course, is what Brettski did here. I hate this fact. As soon as I touch these things, they change. But that's what Brettski did here. Minus 100, minus 200, 400, 800, 1600, 31,000 in the toilet. And, he's done his duty by his hosts and made a complete prat of himself along the way. But none of these guys seem to care very much about looking like idiots. They just happily throw money away because, you know what? They're getting money back in spades, and probably diamonds, hearts, and clubs too, from Google. Looking at Brettski's view counts here, he's got $770 coming back from the first one on the top left, and then 1460, and then 970, and then the interesting thing about Brettski, of course, is he's not enough exposed. He doesn't have enough subscribers yet to really make this a lucrative proposition for him. But if he keeps going the way that he is, I mean, he's nutty, but kind of likable. I mean, he squints all the time, and he has a ludicrous mop of hair, and a very kind of like positive negative attitude, in that he communicates very well exactly what most people expect when they walk into a casino, and that is to get their asses kicked. So he's constantly saying, can I do this, whatever. And the way that he's playing lately, he is definitely losing. He has some rather suspicious content on here. This one, the aftermath of gambling 100,000. He did a video with his pal Bobby Rivas, and the guys lost 105,000. They started out with 5,000 in promo chips from El Cortez, lost that lot, and then lost another 100,000. And miraculously, the next day, they won back 100,000 in about 6 minutes, or so they claimed. And that kind of stuff. It's great for certain people in the audience, I guess. They might believe that stuff. But whenever these guys say, no, we're not promoting gambling. We're not, we're not trying to attract people to casinos. Obviously, the casinos disagree, because the casinos wouldn't go to the trouble that they do to host these people and sort of like butter them up and load them up with comps and goodies and free rooms and all that kind of nonsense, promotions, sponsorships, etc. If they believed a word of that bloody disingenuous crap, of course they're in business to attract people to casinos, whether they're online or whether they're real casinos like the ones in Las Vegas, which are currently suffering a major slump because they've finally taken the market to tipping point. They've stolen so much from their customers over recent years that finally the market has said, screw you guys. And I think they're down, last time I looked, down 17% on the same time last year, and they damn well deserve it too. And they are, as far as I'm concerned, the enemy. I mean, I lived in Nevada for many, many years. I enjoyed playing in casinos. I did not enjoy the kinds of things that I saw on a regular, not daily, perhaps not even weekly basis, but certainly a regular basis. And that is people quite obviously completely wiped out, destroyed by gambling, bankrupted, family broken up, homes lost. One guy I remember, and this is why I'm particularly sensitive about the stupidity of multiple hand betting. He was a crazy guy who always bet 3 hands at a time at blackjack, and used to say, it's so exciting when you win because you win 3 times as much. It never crossed his mind to count how many times he lost 3 times as much. He just didn't, his mentality, smart as he was as a businessman, his mentality did not stretch to that particular equation. He just, kept banging on about how wonderful it was to win 3 bets in a row. Anyway, I'm going to hop back over to the spreadsheet, so bear with me just a sec. Okay, so I did forget my my little timer doohickey, which is not particularly relevant in this particular instance. It matters when I'm doing demos for blackjack and baccarat, but it doesn't matter very much here. But anyway, the story basically with these tracking worksheets is that I enter every single outcome as it comes out of the shoe with these guys. If it's blackjack, I only pay attention to their left-hand bet, or what's called the first base bet at blackjack. So when they spread to multiple bets, I do record them, but I don't really give a shit about them, because that's just stupidity. It's idiotic to bet that way. It's their money; they can do what they want. I'm not saying that I have any right to expect them to do what I do, or expect to control them. No, I don't care. They can throw away as much money as they like. I think their overhead would be a lot less if they bet smart, but they don't care. So anyway, every single one goes in there, and W obviously means wash. I can't use P because I use P for player. Y means a winning double down. N, which is going to show up at some point, is a losing double down. D means dealer, so that's a loss, obviously. And where are we? I mean, we just scroll down here. This is where baccarat comes in. So I have to have a separate column here, which is what actually won. So it was PPP here, and Brettski was backing player, so he won. And then the algorithm takes care of itself. I don't change the algorithm from one test to the next. I just leave it alone. What we have down the bottom here is we have right now the algorithm, algae as I like to call it, is ahead 3,650 on Brettski's outcomes, in spite of a 17% house advantage. Let's have a look. It's 49 wins and 75 losses, so that's pretty bloody awful. It's a 17% house advantage, as you can see here. Coming down to the bottom again, not very many rounds tested, only 140, but in that number of rounds, you can see the algorithm is right now down 675. Next time Brettski goes near a table, and I'll probably wrap up this whole thing next time he steps up to either blackjack or baccarat, we'll turn this around and we'll improve this number up here. Exposure 3,150, actual result 3,650, winning. It's a simple enough story, really. Coming down to Brettski, this of course is the offensive so-called test that he ran, which was at the behest, obviously, of his hosts. All these guys have to behave themselves, not teach people how to win, etc., etc., etc. He actually reached a high of 4,825 ahead at one point, and that's his turnaround here, where he had a blackjack, had a natural with a bet of 3,000 out. That brought him in 4,500, and it took him to nearly 5,000 ahead. And from then on, he just pissed it all up the wall. So that's the way these guys function. That's their job. Their job is to lose, and thereby to provide entertainment, excitement, etc., etc., for the peanut gallery. And it's just sad. It really is. But hey, if people like this crap, what the heck, One thing that's kind of interesting is that Brettski has managed to achieve a higher win value, 646, than his average loss value, 482. So he's at 134%. But there have been so many more losses than wins that hasn't helped him. Algae did much better, betting a lot less. Average win 433, average loss 231. Average win over average loss 187%, which is cozy and nice and profitable, and long may it continue. But anyway, you folks out there, as I always say to you, take it or leave it, believe it or not, I don't really care. I would rather people believe me. Okay, so I do care, I'm lying. But for the idiots out there who can look at information like this and then say, well, that doesn't work. Hey, they're no use to anybody, least of all themselves. So, I just wish them well and know that they're on a hiding to hell. One thing, just check this out. I love these bar charts because they show the drama of losing streaks, and there have been a lot for Brettski and for Algae over the last 138 bets. But the point is, of course, that with pattern betting, short, sharp winning streaks like these will keep on turning you around. Turnaround has come 17 times for pattern betting in the in this particular test, 138 bets. It's come, I think, once, maybe. No, twice. I beg his pardon. Twice for Brettski. One was here where he got 25 ahead. The other one was down here where he managed to get that natural with 3,000 on the table and got paid back 4,500. That took him ahead. And then he's been sliding ever since. And that's his job. His job, like all the others, is to lose. Because if they start teaching you folks out there how to kick the shit out of the house, they'll be out of the spotlight. They won't be getting any more comps and any more help. And sometimes people say, well, they couldn't stop us from filming. Of course they can stop you from filming, you stupid asses. You know, they've got security all over the place. They've got facial recognition cameras. They've got every reason to stop people who are teaching other people how to win. They don't care about people surreptitiously filming slot sessions because the slots are sucker traps. Nobody wins on those things, including all of the pro losers that claim every so often, oh, look, I burst into tears. I cried because I won so much money at so-and-so. Oops. All right, so that was a long phone conversation. So that means I've completely lost track of what I was talking about before. But I think I was wrapping this up. I mean, basically, to say that, you can see from the numbers. I mean, right now, Brettski is up shit creek. He's got no chance of recovering unless he gets a bunch of blind luck, which happens to everybody at some point. You keep throwing money at these tables. At some point, you're going to hit a winning streak like the classic from, oh God, what's his name now? Degen Dalt, who got a run at Caesars that was hysterical. I mean, it was like, I think he had 19 wins and 4 losses in this streak. And he did pretty well, actually, in terms of actually milking the streak. But this is where, people like Brettski and so on what's his face, Vegas Matt and all the rest, it's where they go wrong, is that they don't exploit winning streaks and they don't step back from losing streaks. And that's something that if you don't do that, then you're in trouble. And of course, they all have to play this game that Brettski did, like a good little boy, for his hosts. This trashing the martingale. I absolutely do not recommend the martingale to anybody. It is stupid. It is uncontrolled. It's dangerous, and absolutely not worth anybody's time. Pattern betting is a very, very different animal. People need to understand that, but I can't teach people to understand things they don't want to understand. It's really that simple, isn't it? So, what do we have? We had an average bet of somewhere around, what was it for? An average bet of around 350. And so we've won at 3,000, we've won 10 average bets profit. And not just one, which is what they always talk about. And if you look at the OKs here, the turnarounds, 275, 550, 75, 125, 475, 725, 225. That's because the algorithm automatically rounds up. So that when turnaround comes, you make a better profit than the stupidity of the martingale, which is where you win just one unit. So if you start with $5, then 5, 10, 20, 40, 80, 60, 80, 160, 320, blah, 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 blah. Stupid stuff. Everybody knows it's stupid stuff. And anybody with half a brain knows that the only way you can beat these games is with progressive betting. But it needs to be controlled and sensible, tactical progressive betting, rather like pattern betting. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, next time.